Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the live stream. Introductions are in order if this is the first time you're watching, but I'll be back in 20 seconds to do said introductions. Hello, and welcome everybody to another episode of Tarot by Hilary Live. I am your hostess with the mostest, Hilary of tarotbyhilary.com, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, here to demystify the mystical and put you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition, and we have a full house tonight. I am seeing in the chat. It's fantastic. Fran is here. Hello to Fran. Katie made it this week. Hello. Hellos are in order. People are saying hello to people. It is a vibe, my friends, and it just brings me so much joy to know that this here little live stream that is bringing people together. I love it so much, and I love that I have regular viewers every week. It makes me so happy, because I wouldn't do this without you guys. Otherwise, it's just me screaming out into the universe. And Stephanie is here as well. Hello to Stephanie. So tonight's episode, if you were reading the description, which I just really quickly wrote, what are you reading? Which tarot decks are you liking? Which oracle decks are you vibing with? And why? Let us discuss, because, we're still in the first month of this year. And honestly, guys, it feels like this month has lasted for an entire year already, instead of just 24 days. You know what I mean? It's been a long month so far. A lot of stuff has been thrown at us this month. And I know I started the month also with not only the mega reading for the year 2025, but also my intention to start a book club. So we already had a few discussions about that. I know that I am notorious for reading several books at the same time. If you guys follow me on Goodreads, you would know that. I think it's pretty easy to follow me on Goodreads. If you don't know who I am on Goodreads, I can't even say that I am the author of my own book on Goodreads. I tried. It didn't work. So I reviewed my own book with 4 stars, with the full intentions to say I'm biased because I wrote this book, but I can't even claim it as my own book under my Goodreads profile. It's very interesting. I don't know. I tried to get verification under my as an author, and it didn't work. Anyway, if you follow me on Goodreads, you'll know that I have a bunch of things on my currently reading shelf. And I usually don't actively read that many things all at the same time. But like the other week, I was looking and I'm just like, oh, shoot, I have like 10 books going on at once. This is not sustainable. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about some of the things that I'm currently reading. They are not necessarily tarot based in nature. There are some things that I'm reading for pleasure, like I'm rereading the Anita Blake Vampire Executioner or Vampire Hunter, Anita Blake by Laurel K. Hamilton series. And I'm rereading that for, I don't know how many times I've reread it up to a certain point, but I haven't like gotten past. So I'm on Cerulean Sins, if I'm remembering correctly. How is that pronounced? Cerulean? So I'm reading that for pleasure currently, and then I'm also reading something that I bought during my bookseller days. So that's a long time ago, guys. I'm rereading this book, Life Magic by Laura Bushnell. And I've been reading it, but I haven't really been doing exercises. And so I was just like, stop it, Hilary. Let's go back and actually dedicate a notebook to doing some of these exercises instead of just reading the book and absorbing it. Like, maybe I should do the exercises in it and not be like that kind of person that just reads and doesn't do the exercises. So I'm doing that as well. So those are the two books that I'm currently reading at the top of my mind. I also started to read my own book that I wrote during NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. And I was good up until a point where I was just like, this is a really good book. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I wrote this. But it's been enough time in between the writing of it and then me going back and like reading it and kind of editing it, like a first pass edit. And then I got up to the sex scenes that I wrote, and I'm just like, I gotta stop here because I am shit at writing sex scenes. And what was I thinking? And this is embarrassing. And I'm going to like, I wanted to like bury my head in the sand, and I'm just like, oh no, I can't read this. This is too uncomfortable. So I skipped over that part. All of that being said, I am reading a lot of things right now, and I wanted you guys to share what you're currently reading and also which decks you're vibing with. Stephanie and I were talking earlier, chatting over Messenger earlier about the decks that she's bought recently. And also I got sucked in and I'm just like, ooh, that sounds like a good deck. Ooh, I should get that deck too. But also I have a lot of decks too. So anyway, Stephanie says, about reading books. I do that too. I like to digest rather than info dump. So I only allow myself a chapter a day max for nonfiction. Ooh, that's a good idea. I should probably do that for Life Magic. And also like do the exercises as well. Like there's some exercises in here, guys, that I'm just like, ooh, this is too happy fuzzy bunny for my taste. But at the same time, like probably I shouldn't knock it until I try it. So the first couple of so this is the book that I'm referring to, Life Magic, her 7 keys to finding your power and living your purpose. So I started rereading it again, and the very first exercise, well, the first exercise is to get a magic notebook. So a notebook and a pen to dedicate yourself to the exercises and working the keys, right? And by the way, we do have someone spamming right now, so please go ahead, ignore, block, etc. Actually, I'm going to pause for a second here and deal with that as it happens, considering I do have moderator status of my own live stream. So let me go ahead and get on top of that, folks. Even though it's super annoying to be like discussing and leading a live stream and then also having to moderate yourself at the same time. Just annoying. Like, I don't get it. Don't do it. You know, what's wrong with you people? Okay. So as that's loading up, I'm going to describe to you the first. Prepare for the first key. I recommend that you begin a journal, your own magic notebook, where you can write about your experiences and keep track of your progress of the exercises that you're doing in this book, Life Magic. I'm going to hold, please. See, as a moderator, you can make changes to this while it's live. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm muted myself so I don't echo myself. Ban from all live streams. Hold on. Yep. I can do that. You shouldn't have a problem with that guy anymore, or girl, or whoever it is. Anyway, so Fran says, I am trying to read the books that this Kokak Is that how you say it? True Crime Book Clubs book club does. Hard time diving. Oh, that's sweet. Hard time typing. Dog wants love. Well, give dog love. I mean, obviously, you have to give your doggo some love. So anyway, so so Laura Bushnell recommends for this book, whenever you read a new exercise, you use your magic notebook to make comments or schedule your next time to practice. I suggest that you set time aside at least once a week to practice these exercises. My most dedicated clients have practiced these exercises consistently, even daily, and they have rapidly created wonderful changes in their lives as a result. The first key is about expecting magic. Before you read further, just take a moment to write in your journal anything that happened to you today that fits your idea of magic. Don't think too hard about it. Remember, this is meant to be fun. And then the next exercise, besides creating the magic notebook to write down your experiences and do the exercises, is morning smiles. Spend the first 5 minutes of your day before you get out of bed with your eyes closed and allow all of your organs to smile. It's a little cheesy. Yes. Okay. Local true crime book clubs. I get it. So the key number one, so like the 7 keys that are in this book are, key 1, expect magic, prepares you to embrace the magic that surrounds you. Key 2, your thoughts are your prayers, teaches you how to use your thoughts to release worry and manifest your dreams, because, thoughts are spells, basically. Key 3 is your heart is your lantern, helps you rediscover the ability to listen to your heart and see your inner beauty. Key 4, your will is your wand, focuses on tapping into the powers of the universe and developing the powers of intention and intuition. Key 5, your words are your invocations, reveals how to harness the awesome power of words to create your reality. Key 6 is you must ask in order to receive, puts you in touch with the spirit world and your angels. And key 7, share the magic, shows you how to connect and celebrate with others. So, and yeah, there's it's basically 7 chapters, one key to each chapter, and then the epilogue is the responsibility of a magus. There's also a reference list and acknowledgement, as well as an introduction, of course. So I've been trying to actually not just read things, but also absorb them, digest them, do the exercises that are suggested within them. And it's almost like I don't want to be the kind of person that's just do as I say, not as I do. I did write, when I wrote How to Read Tarot, my book, I did write exercises in it, hoping and expecting people to do the exercises that I wrote in it, because that's what's supposed to help you. It's this is what helped me, guys, or this is what I would recommend to my younger self, had I, read that book, or had I had access to that book. It's just this is what I would want my younger self to have known when I first started reading tarot, or first started trying to read tarot, or learning how to read tarot. So it would be pretty silly of me to continue to read a book like this that has exercises in it, and not actually do the exercises. A little bit hypocritical if I don't, because I expect people to do the exercises in my book. So why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I expect myself to do the exercises in another person's book, is what I'm trying to say. So Stephanie says, her dog loves to insert her giant German Shepherd snoot in between my arm and the keyboard. Yes, exactly. You gotta, yeah, I just want to be involved, right? The dogs just want to be involved. By the way, I follow more dogs and cats on the internet than I do people. That's just who I am. I have my own favorites of favorites that I follow on the internet. So yeah, that's one of the books that I'm reading right now, Life Magic. I also wanted to talk a little bit about the decks that I'm working with. I mean, like this month of January, I decided for a card of the day. If I were to do card of the day every day, which like today I didn't pull a card. I instead did a short video on from my Ask a Tarot Reader series that like I put down for a little while, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I should probably restart that again because there are very, I guess, easy answers that I can quickly spout off a quick answer to these frequently asked questions that are not like, oh, pull a card for me. More like, the questions that I get asked a lot as a tarot reader. It's just like, where do you think psychic ability comes from? Or do you feel like you have to uh, have like psychic lineage in order to be able to do this job? Or do you feel like your psychic ability is a gift rather than learned? And I mean, if you guys have been watching the live stream for any length of time, you guys pretty much know my answers or how I would answer those questions. Like, no, I don't believe that you have to be inherently psychic to be a professional tarot reader. It helps. But also I start every episode of this live stream with, putting you in touch with the most beautiful gifts, which is your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, you have intuition. Don't argue with me, because I do believe that. I really do believe that everyone has intuition, and it's a muscle that can be strengthened with practice. So many of the things that I get asked in general, you probably already know as a live stream viewer. But so today I did a video or posted a video on almost in the style of Elise Myers asking a question. And it's just like, that's a fantastic question, and I would love to tell you. And I would love to answer that for you. Um, and it's about tipping. Like, do you have to tip, or should you tip your tarot reader? And my short answer is no, you don't have to tip your tarot reader, but it is a very nice thing to do, especially if you feel that the reading went above and beyond what your expectation of a tarot reading would be or should be. Or if it was incredibly helpful for you, then like you can show your appreciation by giving that tarot reader a testimonial that they can use in their marketing, and you can also tip them. So Katie says, I've got a diary this year that has mundane and personalized astrology transits noted in it, since this is my major transits happening this year. Oh, wow. Okay. Also trying to eventually move house. I'm just trying to keep a diary so I can look back and see if anything makes sense in my life. My knowledge of astrology is new, so I'm not trying to predict, just observe possible correlations at this stage. Ooh, that's really interesting, Katie. And I think that's a really great way to go about it too, which is like not trying to predict. I mean, I feel like a lot of people get into divination and astrology and tarot and like cartomancy with the intention to predict. But then they learn more about those modalities and they realize, like, oh no, like, I mean, absolutely, astrology can predict. Absolutely, tarot can predict. Lenormand can predict. But ultimately, I think what people find as they dive deeper and they learn more is that exactly what you're doing. I'm not trying to predict, just observe correlations and also like make sense of what's going on. I think that's the bigger thing that tarot can do. I think I actually recorded a short video about that too. It's just like, what else can tarot do? It's not necessarily take this tarot and predict, or take this tarot deck and read for someone. It's also like, how do I make sense of the events of my life and how they um, interact with each other? Or like, oh, I was experiencing this situation in a relationship or a friendship or a situationship 5 years ago, and that was when my moon was in blank, and my natal moon is this. And so now I have that transit going on again. Can I expect the same things? Or am I affected in the same way or going to be affected in the same way? Now, is that trying to predict? Come see, come saw. But it's also trying to not just predict, but also understand. Like, if this, then this, possibly, right? Ooh, that's a good suggestion, Stephanie. I've never heard of that before, though. I love the pattern app. It's free for this stuff, too. Ooh, interesting. Good to know. I mean, sometimes I will go back through my journaling and realize, like, I first of all, I do 750 words. I haven't used that particular website in a little while, but I've done a combination of that. I've done a combination of journaling, typing on my computer, and then I've done handwritten notes as well in my journals too. And it's interesting to look back and see the dates, the times, or, even social media memories, and have it come up and have my writing come up and be like, oh, that's what I was dealing with then, and why I was dealing with that then, and how I approached it then, and would I necessarily approach that situation in the same way now? Because sometimes when you look back on stuff, you look back and you're just like, that, like, it feels as if it was happening to another person. It was still your life. It's still your life. It's still your memories. But at the same time, it's just like, maybe it was happening to a different person because you were a different person 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So this is the kind of stuff that I really like to discuss. And that's the reason probably that sometimes these live streams go long. And I'm not necessarily promising a marathon of an episode tonight, but I will say we've been pretty verbose over the last week or so because Card Slingers, new episode of Card Slingers came out today. Spoiler alert. There was 2 spoiler alerts that went along with this episode. One, it's about the series Agatha All Along, so you want to have watched all of the series before listening to that episode. And 2, it's a long episode, and we had no idea how long we went until we processed the audio. So that episode is 1 hour and 47 minutes. So we know, as the Card Slingers hosts, we know that most of you that listen expect short episodes of at least a half an hour or less, in which to commute or do your dishes or do some laundry or do some cleaning. We did not expect to release a movie length, a feature film length episode of Card Slingers about this particular series, and it's the role of tarot in that series. And yet we did. So that also necessitated a spoiler alert, like, hey, it's a long episode, get cozy with it. Get ready for it, like we're getting into it. So Katie says, I have the Patterns app. Been looking at that for a year, which is why I'm going to be to a bigger version. The one I'm using this time, Honeycomb, is very in-depth. You can buy soft copy and or physical copy, expensive too. It's rather overwhelming detail for this newbie. Yeah, I mean, like, do what you can, like when you can. I am always of the belief that it's just like, start simple first, and then add on as you go and get familiar with whatever like planner you're doing or whatever it is that you're trying to do. Like, simplify first, like make sure you start simple and then you can grow from there. But like, if you try and do too much too fast, you're going to get the thud factor and you're going to get overwhelmed and you might just drop it altogether. We don't want that to happen. So yeah. So Stephanie says, neat. I got the Ritual Journal this year, which is very tarot focused. I've heard about the Ritual Journal. So Lynn is here again. Hello, Lynn. Welcome. So we're just talking a little bit about books that we're enjoying, tarot decks or oracle decks that we're enjoying, and also why. Why are you liking them? Why are you enjoying them? So a little bit of a magpie episode. And then also, thinking about book club and the book that we want to circle around to, which I guess we probably won't start until February, because I haven't even posted the poll as to which book we want to go with. And I also want to give you guys time, if you don't already have that book, the book that we select, to be able to go out and get it, purchase it or download it or borrow it from the library. Library is awesome, by the way. So I'm really circling around Psychic Tarot. There was one that Stephanie suggested as well. Stephanie, you're going to have to message me and remind me which one you suggested, because there was a couple of good suggestions and I just haven't gotten around to writing everything down. I'm talking about writing. But anyway, so Life Magic is one of the books that I've been reading for pleasure, privately, trying to do the exercises or attempting to do the exercises. Let's see. Reading my own stuff and either patting myself on the back for a particular sentence that I liked, or cringing at some of the scenes that I wrote. There's no real in-betweens about that. It's either I love what I write or I hate what I write. There's no like mediocreness. It's either I love my writing or I hate my writing. And let's see, what else? So going back to decks that I'm enjoying, I decided for January, it's a hodgepodge month for card of the day. If I decide to pull a card of the day, today I didn't, preferring to do a short reel, short form, for Ask a Tarot Reader. Do I tip my tarot reader, or should I tip my tarot reader? But I've been using in pretty heavy rotation the Roast Iconic deck, which we do have an unboxing of that one. Roast Iconic, the 30 cards for getting wrecked by the universe, which is absolutely true. I actually pulled a card for Card Slingers when we did our recording today, which was a short episode, guys. The one that we released today is not a short episode, but the next episode that we're publishing is probably, 6 minutes in length, because we felt bad. We're just like, let's give them a breather and record a short episode, and never do an hour and 47-minute long episode again, because it's just too much. It's not our style, really. We could go on forever and ever, but it's just like, but I don't know if you guys or even our producer would be okay with having to produce and edit an hour and 47-minute long episode every 2 weeks. Not great. So Fran is asking, Katie, are you still digging Moonology? Yes. That I remember Katie was doing the Moonology. Stephanie says, I feel like the Millennial Tarot I just ordered would pair well with the Roast Iconic. Mm-hmm. And we've done combinations of decks before. And I have Sophia, aka Benevolent Corvus, to thank for that concept of combining decks and seeing what is produced by that. Like, does it soften? Does the addition of a particular deck soften or sharpen the reading? Now, with, for example, the Sorcery Underground fortune-telling deck, which is a combination of tarot and Lenormand and playing cards all wrapped up in one deck, it has the tendency to sometimes sharpen a deck, or it has the tendency to soften a deck, depending on which deck it's paired with. So very fascinating to see the probably the myriad of combinations that you can get combining two different decks. So I think Katie's answering you, Fran. Yes, absolutely. With the Moonology, it regularly hits gently and hard. So this morning when we were recording Card Slingers, our quick quick episode that will be coming up in the next probably 2 weeks, the next episode after the one that we just released. Before we got finished, we had done the recording, we were not recording anymore, and I decided to pull a card for us from the Roast Iconic, and I got the card Cult Leader. So I'm not sure whether or not that was a sign that we have the ability to be cult leaders, or it's more of a sign that it's just like, hey, cut that shit out. Like, check your ego at the door. So according to the guidebook, it was more the latter, not the former, like check your ego at the door. Yeah, where is it here? So the cult leader card from the Roast Iconic was, you are not a guru, a time lord, or a demigod. You are an egomaniac who needs minions so you can feel like an authority to compensate for your own feelings of inferiority. Grow up. So I'm just like, ooh, like, what is that trying to tell me? I mean, like, obviously I know what it's trying to tell me, but it's just like, what is that exactly in reference to? So I keep on grabbing for the Roast Iconic most of the time. I'm like, and it's such a small deck that I'm just like, oh, this fits really easily into my bag. So I just like can grab it and go. Then again, I also do have the Reflective Tarot, which is a mini deck, which is also small. So that's nice. But like heavy rotation. In heavy rotation, the Roast Iconic, I'm back into my affirmation cards from Gabby Bernstein, the Super Attractor, and the Spirit Junkie. Really like those. Starseed and Work Your Light, still bangers. Yeah. Of course, Katie, right? Getting roasted again by your cards, Hilary. Yep. Of course, my workhorse deck that's in this bag that I got from Ipsy, the Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith. Always, like, this is my workhorse deck for a reason. I always go. It's a very good go-to deck. Let's see what else. The other day, Mr. Tarot by Hilary chose the deck. He didn't choose the card, but he chose the deck to be read from for our card of the day pull, and he chose the Fountain Tarot. I opened up my tarot cabinet, and I was just like, go for it, like pick out which deck I should use for the card of the day pull today, and he picked the Fountain Tarot. And of course, that day we got the Strength card, which was unsurprising. I think this was, I want to say it was, the Strength card was Monday, which was Inauguration Day. That checks out. Then again, I might not have pulled a card. I could have. I can't remember. I really can't remember. All I know, it was the day that we did the Fountain Tarot. We got the Strength card. Remember that very clearly. The other day when I did the Roast Iconic, I did it in my car before my shift at the store, and I pulled the Bitch card, which was pretty darn accurate. So, I mean, like, I feel like my cards like to come for me, but it's just like, it doesn't even matter the deck at this point. It could be the sweetest and nicest deck, but in my hands, it's just like, yeah. Definitely. Yes, we definitely needed Strength that day. And, with the Strength card, like, I think I've said this before, there's something about the Strength card. When we receive a Strength card as a card of the day card, I get those like hang in there kitten vibes. And most of the time that card is a sign for me to like have strength. Like it's going to be like buckle up, buttercups. It's going to be a rough day. Like that's my translation for the Strength card as a card of the day message. And most of the time I'm correct about it. I was just looking through some of the books that I have while I was cleaning up, and I came across the Tarot Diva book by Sasha Graham, and I flipped to a page about I think it was about intuition versus psychic, and psychic impressions versus personal associations or memories. And sometimes to not confuse the two, but also like there is in between the psychic impressions and memories and personal associations, there lies your tarot shorthand. Or at least that was my translation of what she was trying to say. So I feel like that relates pretty strongly to like when I see the strength card as a card of the day, it's going to be a rough day. So yes. Yeah. Katie said, I hibernated from the troubles that day. I mean, I tried to, you know, but also when was it? I can't remember if it was last week on the live stream or the week before. I pulled the roast iconic, and I pulled oh gosh, I think I pulled whichever one said like white woman tears. Like I'm not I'm like not joking with you in the slightest. Like roast iconic will come for you, because I had just been saying something about like I'm avoiding it, or I'm putting my head in the sand about it, and then I got smacked down. Yes, the privilege card. The privilege card has white tears. Hashtag love and light and white tears on it. So it's like it kind of smacked me down. And it's just like hibernating or avoiding, like that's a luxury. Like it's a privilege. And to remember that it's a privilege, right? And to maybe go outside of my comfort zone and maybe not do that, maybe not rely so much on that. But also we do need to take care of ourselves as well. We can't just always be you know on the front lines taking hit after hit after hit. Sometimes we do need to go within and recuperate from all of this, because it's a lot, guys. All right, now that I've jumped up on my podium, let's do the mid-episode reading. Yeah, Stephanie says it sure is. Shit is getting scary fast, and those of us who are able need to take action. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to, just keep yourself aware. Make sure you're reading. Make sure you're keeping abreast of the news. Be mindful of where you're getting your news sources from as well. And like just do what you can when you can. All right. On that note, lottery jar, comment snake, and countdown. So the magic word, as always, for these mid-episode readings is tarot. So and I'm also going to pull this up too. Katie says that's a very American culture thing. I had to learn what that meant. Saw the white woman tears in a video reflecting the racism the women were showing. Then I got it. Yeah. But we don't always do that in other cultures. Right. Yeah. Let me actually start the timer here. There we go. So Stephanie says there have been constant ice alerts in my neighborhood. Yeah. I mean, I've been reading stories and news alerts about like ice raids happening, and it's just like and what's really frustrating about all of it is just like people like I didn't know he was going to do that. Like he told you, like he said these things, like he said I'm going to do this, so like don't pretend like you didn't know. Like when someone says that they're going to do this, like believe them, like believe who people are the first time. So if anyone wants to do the mid-episode reading or put their hat into the ring for the opportunity to win a live 3-card reading right here on the broadcast, go ahead and put the word tarot into the chat, TAROT into the chat. And you have another 2 minutes and 15 seconds to do so. Yeah, exactly, Stephanie. When people show you who they are, believe them the first time. By the way, this is the last of the ramp vodka. Cheers. Yep. Members of the Navajo Nation have been detained by ICE. Yep. So the short episode that we recorded for Card Slingers was basically like, we're here. We're here. We love you. Find your community. Kind of talking about it without talking about it. Oh, that didn't work. Katie said, just so I can throw myself into the jar because it's fun watching it go in, tarot. Just comment tarot. Because I guess it doesn't work. I guess it doesn't work in a comment with other words in it. So just write tarot. Yeah, so the episode there we go. All right. So the episode that we recorded, I said something to Jamie before we started recording. And she was like, oh, that's good. We should have recorded that. And this is always what happens. You know, she's like, oh, shoot, press the record button. Like, what did I just say? What did I just say? And what I ended up saying was, like, if you've been listening to us, you kind of know. Like, you kind of know what our political leanings are. And if you don't know, like, you should know. We're pretty liberal. We're kind of witch adjacent. We're queer. We're this, we're that. We're tarot readers. So it's just like you kind of should know. And yeah. All right. With a wee from Katie, we have 2 takers on the mid-episode reading. And so I'm going to go ahead and hide that comment there. And Fran won last week, which is why she is abstaining courteously from this week. So let's go ahead and get a winner. And the winner for this week's mid-episode reading is Katie. Woo! Welcome, Katie. Congratulations. So go ahead. You know how this works. Go ahead and put your question into the chat. I will pull 3 cards for your question, and possibly a roast iconic. And if you have a particular preference on which deck you would like to be read from, also put that in. The one that I have closest to hand is my Radiant Rider-Waite Smith. But I also have the Accurate AF and the Meraki Tarot and the Fountain Tarot close to hand too. So why is all the rum gone? Or why is all the vodka gone? So this time around, I just did a little bit of olive juice and the rest of the ramp vodka. Okay. I don't recall the Fountain Tarot, so let's have that one. You got it. And what is your question? think that was more olive juice than vodka. All right, this is the Fountain Tarot right here. There's the backs right there. Okay, so, okay. I'm sort of struggling with words, so maybe go with the standard. What do I need to know for this coming month, please? Okay, can do that. All right, we have the Three of Wands. We have the Tower reversed. And we have the Ace of Wands. Interesting. So, Three of Wands to me is... It's interesting, the colors on these. Like, I'm really drawn to the colors on these cards. And that's what my eye is noticing first before anything else. Like, not even so much... Hold on a second. Not even so much like the cards themselves that are coming up, even though like I personally like to see if the Tower card comes up, I like to see it reversed rather than upright. But it's very like yellow card, grayish blacks, yellow orange card. So you've got like kind of like the doldrums in the mid-month. And I'm saying this for February. So I'm just going to show you here. See, so this is the first card here, the Three of Wands. Notice that like buttercup yellow. Then you've got the Tower. The Tower does have some orange in there too, but it's mostly like blacks and grays there. So the Tower reversed. And then the last card is the Ace of Wands, which has the yellows and then the oranges there. And it's almost like these cards are very beautiful, but some people just don't vibe with them because of like, I guess it almost has like a modern vibe and it's very like angular. So I feel like some people are kind of put off by like the angularness of some of these cards. But to me, that's where like the action points are, especially in the wand suit of this particular deck. So the first card you have is the Three of Wands, and it's almost like the figure in the picture is like pulling a rope, but it's almost like he's pulling. It's like a tug of war, but with himself. So it feels like I'm trying to like break up like the next month in terms of like a three. So this reading has like three parts. So the Three of Wands is like the start of the month. The Tower reverse is around the middle of the month. And then the Ace of Wands is the end of the month. So I feel like Ace of Wands for the end of next month is really where like the action starts to pick up, which is here. Look at the Ace of Wands. It's like this shaft of gold and light. So let's go to the guidebook, because ultimately, like overall, I'm really not getting a like individual here. It's more of like a trough, crest, and then trough again. or the other way around, like wave, trough, wave. It's just like I feel like the middle is going to be like the lowest point, but the two ends are going to be the high points. So 3 of Wands. And notice that the 3 of Wands and the Ace of Wands are both upright. They're not reversed. So 3 of Wands is focused effort. In the 3 of Wands, a man exerts great effort to manifest his objectives. At times, he must push energy outward to shape his life, and at other times, he must pull energy inward to harness its power and attract what he wants. This is from the guidebook. Your strengths and focus are producing the first glimpses of achievement, but the secret to your long-term prosperity lies in your ability to be patient, attentive, and most of all, nimble. So flexible. Definitely emphasis on flexibility for the start of the month. Meanings are focused effort, strength, foresight, business acumen, common sense, dedication, and success. So, like that pull, like that tug of war, Yep. I'm here nodding. I'm here nodding with you. I get it. Okay, cool. That's the most important thing. All right. So the Tower reversed. I'm a big fan of seeing the Tower reversed rather than upright, because it's almost like hard parts over, but like also understanding like why the tower happened, is the key to making sure that it doesn't happen again. It's just like it feels almost like that won't get fooled again energy. So here's the Tower. Here's the Tower upright. Okay. And here's the Tower reversed. So the Tower is the inessential destroyed, is the phrase. Reversed meanings are trapped in a pattern, unwillingness to change, financial losses, delusional, servile, or same old, same old. Now, I don't necessarily agree with the reversed meanings that are in this guidebook. I am more of a fan of like hard parts over, it's just like you get it, like the worst of it is done. And now you're just trying to understand like why the Tower moment happened, but it already happened, but you're still feeling like, I guess mid-month, you're still feeling the reverberations of the Tower moment, just in different ways that are much easier to handle, but still have to be addressed. So, the top of a massive tower crumbles swiftly beneath the weight of its ostentation. It's grown ugly, complicated, and beyond utility, an insult to the balance that once was. Your soul craves equilibrium, and life itself is often the judge when ideologies, beliefs, or projects are given more importance and more time and energy than they are due. Change, though necessary, is often painful, and this one will be felt for a very, very long time. But you already, I feel like it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise for the Tower reversed to come up. So the upright meaning, the one that I agree with, the upright meaning here is a release of pressure. All right. And then finally, we have the Ace of Wands. Now, the aces to me are like new starts, new beginnings, of like a breath of fresh air. Though in this case, Wands, it's fire. It's almost like this, like you've been like waiting for the go ahead, waiting for the go ahead. And like at the end of next month, you're given the go ahead. And I know that you commented, but I'm gonna hold off reading that until I read the companion books meaning for the Ace of Wands. Besides seeing thankful for the Ace of Wands after that Tower. Yeah. So the Ace of Wands is passionate energy, again, upright. Ace of Wands is a gift of fiery passion and enthusiasm, a hot flash of focused attention. This card is about will and determination, creating or destroying something to bring about transformation. Whether your interest is spiritual, mental, or physical, you will have the strength and the inspiration to move your goals forward. Like all aces, however, there is only a brief moment to seize this opportunity. Find your courage and make your move. So the meanings for the upright are strong beginnings, a burst of soul energy, new life, passions discovered, inspiration, and bold steps forward. Like this is like your yes card. So going back to the tower reverse feels to me like instead of the fake surface being blown off, it's more falling off. Yes, there is still shit happening, but it will clear. No surprise about the tower appearing. Annoyingly. Yes, I know. Thankful for the Ace of Wands after that tower. Yes, definitely been waiting for the go ahead. Yeah. Found the courage and make the move hit. Yep. So there you go. Like, I mean, like, it's just like, I feel like it's wave, trough, wave again. And it's almost like the Three of Wands is like mid, like a medium-sized wave. The trough is the tower reversed. And then the Ace of Wands is like the highest wave. So it's just like end of February. It's just like make your move. Like, and I feel like with the Ace of Wands is a very, very clear sign. And, you know, sometimes I know we all do this. Like even me as a tarot reader, I will do this when I get tarot readings from other people. It's just like, but I need a sign your sign. It's just like, you will get that sign your sign. But then don't take that sign and be like, okay, I need a sign your sign. Like, you'll know it when you see it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. That is encouraging. I'm not looking forward to the next month, but that has been encouraging. Good. That's what I like to hear. So once again, thank you to Katie. Thank you to everyone to put your hat in the ring for the mid-episode reading. And thank you to Katie for winning it and being vulnerable enough to be read for in a public space. I know it can be a little bit scary. And even if it's a free reading, it's still, you know, the act of getting a reading in a public space is vulnerable. And I thank you for putting yourself out there. Yeah, I needed to hear that. I always appreciate your readings, but I really, really appreciate this one. I really needed it. You're very welcome, Katie. You're welcome. And just think, you almost didn't even put your name in. You just wanted to see your icon jump into the lottery jar. So it was meant to be. It was absolutely meant to be. So yes, that's true, Stephanie. A tower, even reversed, is still daunting. Sure is. It is. I don't know if I told you guys this before, but I know someone that has the tower card as a tattoo. And I'm just like, you are brave. And she said to me, no, I just work with the tower. The tower and I have an understanding. And I'm like, okay, all right. You know, I'm sure similar people would say the same thing about me and my High Priestess tarot card tattoo. So, you know, it's not necessarily about bravery. It's about having a connection with that card or that card's energy, you know? Yeah. Katie says, true. I wasn't expecting to win. Expect magic, right? Expect magic. The first key. Yeah. Oh, I know. Yes, the tower and I understand each other, but it's not something I look forward to. And how? All right. Let us put down that. Let us put down the comment snake. Once again, I want to remind people to subscribe, click the bell for new episodes or notifications of when I do the next live stream. It's usually every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, in which we do this, talk about tarot, divination, witchy stuff. And the mid-episode reading is a valid part of that. And also, we never did the astro, guys. I'm just realizing that now. I'm just like, the three main pillars, and we didn't even start with the Astro Biz Digest. Isn't that weird? Didn't even think of it. Didn't even think of it. Let's go back there now. Let's go back there. Mea culpa. All right. This place is very magical. For sure, I prefer a death kind of change over tower any day. Yeah. Friend said, no, we just dove in. All right, let's do some astro weather from Teresa Reed's wonderful Astro Biz Digest. Again, the Astro Biz Digest is a $99 subscription, year-long subscription, astrology in layman's terms, straight to your email inbox. It is geared towards entrepreneurs and business owners, but I find it to be incredibly helpful in planning my personal life as well as my tarot readings and my tarot business and my tapping business. And if you want to get one for yourself, thetarotlady.com/astrobizdigest. Sorry that we're doing this so late, an hour in, guys. We usually start with it. Like, I promise you, I only had one drink, and it was this much. It was this much, guys. A little bit loopy. Anyway, and I ate. So no real excuses to not do the Astro Biz Digest first, but I don't know. We were just having fun, right? We were vibing. All right, let's pull this up. So, okay. That's fair. Friend says, I picked the wrong January to do dry January. Well, not necessarily. So, so my boss in my retail job recently quit coffee, and he was a big coffee drinker. But he quit coffee the week of our physical inventory, and he's just like, this is actually this is good for me. I haven't been edgy, I haven't been irritable, I haven't been snappish. So, maybe you picked the right January to do dry January. Maybe you did. So Katie says, I don't mind the death card either. I get both at times, but tower happens on the big journey changes / upgrades for me, and death card is a total wipeout for me, and a wipeout is not what I need to hear, or not what I need here. Understandable. All right, so big reminder from the Astro Biz Digest. Mars is still retrograde until February 23rd, so avoid fights, do not start lawsuits, do not start a new business. Relaunch previous programs, think before taking action, and choose business battles wisely. All right. So that's the main transit going on this week. There's no other larger transits happening. So let's dive into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Friday is fab for travel, broadcasting, marketing, and big thinking. Inspire your community with a lively live stream at 8:55 a.m. when the moon sextiles the sun. No, we're doing it now. You could make a splash and plenty of sales. The evening takes a problematic turn when the moon opposes Jupiter at 9:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're not there yet, guys, and we're not going to be. I'm looking at the time. We started on time tonight, so should be good. So 9:45 p.m. moon opposes Jupiter. Suddenly everything is big, loud, and expensive. Shut the shop down and go out for a nice dinner if you can. So today, Friday, January 24th, is a power day for Sagittarius and a weak day for Gemini. So if you have those placements, be warned. So Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is a mixed bag. The Moon Saturn Moon Saturn square at 7:51 a.m. throws sand in your gears, making it hard to get anywhere fast. It's best to slow down and roll with the punches, especially if you are traveling. A Moon Chiron trine at 12:46 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is lovely for healing conversations. If you need to sit down with a team member or client, this is your best spot. The public is in a foul mood when the moon squares Venus at 6:34 p.m. While some might be tempted to engage in emotional spending sprees, it's not the best time to push for that. Instead, hold off until 6:54 p.m. So 20 minutes later, when Venus trines Mars, this sets the ideal stage for vibrant PR campaigns and creative marketing for the next 3 days. Be seen and seen often. It will pay off. Sunday finds the moon in industrious Capricorn at 8:43 a.m., your best lunation for CEO moves, organizing, and management duties. Next, that is time to boss up. Mercury sextile Neptune at 1:33 p.m. is fantastic for brainstorming, creativity, and intuition. Basically, your brain can conjure up the ideas, or all the ideas, for the next 2 days. Sunday finishes strong with Venus in a sextile with Uranus at 6:11 p.m. Super good vibes for PR, networking, community building, and short trips. You may have original ideas for marketing too. The muse will continue to sing for 3 days. Take the mic and make sweet business music. Saturday is a power day for Sagittarius and a weekday for Gemini, and Sunday is a power day for Capricorn and a weekday for Cancer. So there you go, guys. We did it. We did the AstroBiz Digest, though almost at the end instead of at the beginning, but we still did it. If anyone wants to know the astrological reason why for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, let me know now before we move into the weekend forecast. Katie says, I accidentally dry Januaried myself. I had to take some medicine that can't have alcohol. I'm almost ready for a drink. Bring on February. Yes. So, Fran says, so next week you can have a Bloody Mary or mimosa and I'll glare at you. No judgment. No judgment. I'm trying to reach for my water right now. Any takers for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday? Monday was a lot. Moon Mercury square, 11:23 a.m. Negative thinking, negotiation fails, bummer conversations. At 1:25 p.m., Moon opposing Chiron, an aspect associated with reopening past wounds. Like, can you make this shit up? No. Fran says, Thursday, I sent in an email as the best of my recollection. Yeah, it's been, I mean, like, out of all the weeks of this January, and it's been a long January, this has been a really long week. Mars sextiles Uranus, creative, enterprising, resourceful vibe. Moon trines Mars and opposes Uranus at 10:12 a.m. Think before making a move. You may be raring to go, but your intuition could send you down the wrong rabbit hole. Look first. And then Mercury opposing Mars at 3:49 p.m. and trines Uranus at 5:07 p.m. Progress followed by unexpected pushback over the next 2 days and unpredictable conversations. Katie says it's been a really low energy week. Thursday evening was so low energy. Yeah, Thursday was a lot. Yeah, exactly. Moon trined Neptune at 7:03 p.m. Station void. A lovely time for brainstorming or rest. Mm-hmm. Yep. So before we move into the weekend forecast, and you guys can choose which deck we want to do that from, does anyone have any comments or suggestions or recommendations for books, for decks, whether of a tarot or oracle or Kipper or Lenormand Nature? Speak now. Let us know. Yeah, Stephanie said, I was sick in bed 4 days this week, so I definitely felt that. I mean, Stephanie, it's been going around. Like Mr. Tarot by Hilary was exactly like that too. And I did not take his temperature. I just did this to his forehead, and he was so warm and so dry that I was just like, oh, he's spiking a fever. And I was just waiting for the fever to break. Fortunately, it did. So like, but he was feeling real bad this week, and it's been going around. So I'm glad. Hopefully you're feeling better. Hopefully everyone's feeling a little bit better. Yeah. Katie said, I eventually had to do the rest. I was knocked out. Mm-hmm. And you've also been running a fever on and off this week. Yeah. Gotta rest. All right. Now that I've covered my working surface with books and decks, and my computer and my microphone, oh, good. So Stephanie says, yes, good now. Thankfully. Great. That's great. Oh my gosh, I have like 10 text messages. What happened? Okay. Nothing to worry about. Okay, any suggestions about decks that we need to check out before we move into the weekend forecast? And if not, which deck do you want the weekend forecast from? Fair warning, if you choose the Roast Iconic, you choose it at your own risk. I'm telling you, this little deck packs a wallop. So we've got the Super Attractor deck, Affirmations deck. We've got the Work Your Light. I don't know where Work Your Light is. I think it's in the other room. But we've got Starseed. We've got Accurate AF Tarot. We've got Meraki. We've got Bibliomancy. Actually, you know what? We could go with Bibliomancy from Life Magic. It's not like I'm spoilering myself. Fair enough. Let's do that. Let's do Life Magic, because I feel like it's going to be warmer and gentler. Like Stephanie says, oh man, I'm in the mood for something more gentle tonight. Fran says, I need soft, warm, fuzzy kittens. Okay. I'm going to say we're going to do some bibliomancy. By bibliomancy, I mean grabbing a book and running your thumb and pointing. So this is a nonfiction book. This is Life Magic by Laura Bushnell. Like I said, I just started it so that I can do the exercises that go along with it. So let's hope for warm, soft, and fluffy kittens of a message this weekend. Here. And here. Okay. Interesting. I don't know if this is warm and fuzzy, but it's certainly not gonna be harmful. So I pointed to this paragraph, page 119 of Life Magic, from the chapter 4, key for Your Will is Your Wand chapter. So the paragraph that I'm pointing to is this. It takes a lot of experience and trust to see and interpret all the information that is contained in the many layers of the aura. But you don't have to be a clairvoyant just to see people's auras, and this simple exercise will help you begin to see your own. I've taught it in many classes, and almost everyone begins to see their aura under the correct circumstances. At first, it's very subtle or even invisible to you, but with practice, you will see it. Oh, I've actually done this exercise before. Do people want to hear the exercise? It's beyond where I pointed, the paragraph where I pointed to, but it's referring to the exercise below. So it's an exercise in seeing your aura, and you need a mirror to do so, and candlelight if you want to. So Stephanie says yes. So, all right. So you take a hot bath or a shower and dry off. So this is your homework for this weekend, if you choose to do so, if you choose to accept it. Light a candle and turn out the lights. Stand naked in front of a full-length mirror. If you have a full-length mirror, if you don't, just in front of a mirror. So you can see like from the neck up. Try to see the light around your body. Start above the crown of the head, then place your hand in front of you and look at the outline of your hand. The physical aura is an ice blue color, which is surrounded by a golden yellow protective shield. Relax your eyes, do not strain, ask to see, and let it happen. The secret is not to see your physical body, so you must allow yourself to become luminous. Experience expansion. As you breathe out, your aura expands. And as you breathe in, it contracts. You are like a pulsating star. Don't pay attention to your physical shape, just focus on the light around the form. Continue looking for 10 to 15 minutes. Keep trying once a week until you can see the light around your body. You might need 3 weeks and you might need 3 months. Some people say they sense their aura more than they actually see it. Just decide it's possible and keep trying. And then it also talks a little bit about what the different colors are and what they signify. Mostly, so what she refers to, again, I haven't read this part of the book yet. She's referring to rays, and I believe what she's referring to is the pure energy that comes into the body through the crown of your head to connect you to the divine source of light. So the colors in your ray, so the colors, if you're looking at your aura and you see colors around here, each of the different colors means something. She has descriptions for yellow, pink, orange, blue, green, purple, and red. But I would rather not give those to you because I feel like color interpretation is so subjective and different people think of different colors positively or negatively. And it's personal preference. And I don't want to, pun intended, color your perception of what colors mean to you. Like, for example, for purple for me, I love the color purple. So, but if you don't like the color purple, you're probably going to interpret its color differently. So much in the same way where we talk about dream interpretation, it's hard to interpret other people's dreams because dreams are work in the language of symbols, and what is
helpful or comforting, and a symbol for one person might be a frightening symbol for another person. So therefore, it changes the meaning of the dream. So anyway, so that's your weekend forecast. Is try and sense your aura, and let me know what you find out. And yeah, I think that's about it, guys. Good episode tonight. My foot is completely asleep. Actually, my entire right leg is asleep right now. So I think that's a good sign to end the episode for right now. Just a reminder that we do the live stream every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on different metaphysical topics. It was once again a pleasure to bring the episode to you tonight, even if it was a little bit out of order. And yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys have an excellent week. We'll do this again next Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're very, very welcome, everybody. Once again, I am Hilary, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, here to demystify the mystical and put you in touch with the most wonderful of gifts, your intuition. Because yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. Have a wonderful night, a wonderful weekend, a wonderful week ahead of you, and I will see you again on Friday. Bye.